Hey, what's up? Silas here. This is just going to be a quick video. This is going to be on the meme whisperer thing where I kind of just. Oh, he's not a really meme whisperer. This one is more a tweet whisperer? Or just, no, it's not even a whisperer. It's just a tweet I saw. Somebody posted something, and this is about arguments. It's going to be about just an abortion argument that I've seen kind of gone around, and it's just. Ugh, ick. Anyway, so it's going to be on the screen now. I'm going to read it. This is by Alexis Isabel. And it says, ending abortion will bring nothing but pain, not only for women, but for children. Children will be born to parents who can't afford them, parents who aren't ready, or they will live their lives in foster care. More poor kids, more abused kids, more traumatized kids. So that's the message. And just take a pause, think about that. Have you made this argument before? Have you thought of this? Is this why you're pro-abortion or pro-life? And I have some issues with those terms that I'll expand in a separate video and also later on in this one. But let me go with a response to this tweet that made me actually think of posting this and think of making this video. So here's a response by Sarah Saint-Onge. I was terribly abused and grew up in a single-parent welfare home. Stop using lives like mine for validation, because I like my life, warts and all. And you know what would have helped when I was a child? If pro-choice people stopped insisting people like me were better off dead. So that, and the person who posted this, it was Abby Johnson's pro-woman, pro-child, pro-life page. And she said, and that's what you call a mic drop. And yeah, that is a mic drop moment. And just as I asked before, have you made this argument before? Have you heard this argument before? Have you thought of it? Have you just thought about what's going on? And I do this on my channel. I talk about certain things and I try to deal with first principles, because with something like this was what I wrote with it. I said, this is why you should make arguments stand on their own. You stick to what and who is directly involved. I may be guilty of doing this too, and feel free to call me out whenever I do. And that's what I'm asking you guys. If I do this in any video where I'm just like, hey, this guy is just talking to talk, or you just see some glaring mistake in my reasoning or my argumentation, if you just think I'm just trying to be devil's advocate, unless I say I'm trying to be devil's advocate, because in some cases I might try to do that just to initiate a conversation, as they say. But feel free to call me out when I'm doing that. And in this situation, if you call me out, I'll either tell you, yes, I'm trying to be devil's advocate, or I'll defend why I'm doing it, because I do understand sometimes analogies help. But in this situation, I don't think it's an analogy. This is like, this is my reason why you should allow these women to go out there and have these abortions. And it's just, no. So as I continued here, I said, when it comes to life, if you aren't at the moment of reading this or hearing this video right now, if you aren't currently attempting a fatal action, or during one, like let's say you were free falling from a building, you jumped from some really high building, for some reason you had your phone out and you're reading this or listening to this, then you are pro-life at that time. You currently are pro-life, and you don't consider being dead preferential, at least for you or for other people around you at that time. Because you're not going out, sorry about the noise, you're not going out plotting how to kill a bunch of people. Hopefully you're not. If you are, you should probably not be listening to this video. You should probably be getting some help somewhere else. Excuse the noise. But yeah, so this is just the thing I'm talking about with something like this. When you come to this actual argumentation of pro-life, abortion, keep it to that actual situation of the things involved. Because for me, that's what my whole approach to this situation is, at least when you're talking about the abortion issue. It's very hard to talk about what would have happened to these people's lives after, if this happens, because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. That person might have a kid and then they may win the lottery or something, or they may have a kid and the person who they had the kid who impregnated them might think like, oh wow, this kid is actually brought into this world and now I'm going to actually do something with this. And then taking away the whole aspect that is an ability where, hey, if you have the access to this, maybe people will be more careful ahead of time and say, okay, let me avoid having unprotected sex, let me be abstinent, or let me hold off until it comes to the time where I actually have the facilities or the some kind of support structure or some kind of financial base to possibly have a kid. There's so many other considerations. So I think when you're talking about certain topics, especially something like this, you stick to what's actually in there and you don't actually stray to all these other things. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this actual argumentation, if you've done it before, or even if it's just the topic itself of abortion, or if you just heard about this thing where people sometimes make these kind of leaps or include things that are not necessarily related with the topic or don't really help them as much as they probably think it actually does. Okay, that's it for this video. I've got a few other videos. I'm actually editing a few videos now, so I'll upload some stuff. Haven't uploaded in a while. Sorry for that. Been going through trying to think, okay, what actually direction am I going to take this channel in? But yeah, should be having some videos coming up this week, some longer ones. And yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Till next video, goodbye. Wanted to add something about just this tweet, this actual interaction that I talked about here. How amazing that the times that we live in are where you can get this information, where instead of just thinking to yourself, oh, this might be an argument that works, you can actually just go out, even if you don't personally know somebody in your circle, the immediate circle that you talk to who is somebody you're going to be using as a prop for whatever argument you're making, you can go online, find some kind of chat group or some group or something, just reach out, ask people and say, hey, are you in this situation? Before I try to, what's called, appropriate your cause or your life situation into my whole argument, let me just ask a few people. And I know that whole lived experience thing doesn't necessarily mean just because everybody's had a certain experience. If you've talked about some certain group, everybody you talk about in that group will be definitive of what that group feels about how it is to be that sort of person and whatnot. But anyway, just thought it was kind of cool how this information can be spread out there. And this is how the world is going to get better. People are going to be talking about certain arguments. You put your argument out there, it gets out there in the ether, and then people can attack it. And if your argument is good, it will last through it. If it's not, it'll be taken down. Then you can make a better argument and you can be better. We can all be better as a human species for it. That, of course, is assuming that you want to improve your arguments and you're not just virtue signaling or something. But if you are, keep doing that. You're actually giving a lot of entertainment to the rest of us out here in the world who are actually trying to improve ourselves and other people's lives. Yeah, goodbye.